for your Super Bowl experience and what you learned in 2015 for that game, did it help you and shape you to be that much better in 2017? Like explain to us what the difference was, what the prep was, if anything.
Yeah, I think really losing in 2011 to the Giants was probably the most, the biggest and most impactful, I guess, learning experience for me. When you lose those games and when you are in a moment where everything's on the line and you feel like you're close to winning, but you end up on the losing side of things, it really hurts, and it makes you put things in perspective. And my first Super Bowl win was my ninth year in the NFL. So
Wow.
some guys, some guys, they come in early and they win at a young age,
Mm,
and it's almost like you take it for granted, like, hey, I'm going to be here, I'll be right back here every single year, I'll be right back here. But that's not the case, and it's the same with moto. Like, you're young, you start fast, you might have one bad off and you're coming back from an injury, and then you have another injury and things just start to stack up, and then you look in the mirror and wow, it's 5 seasons have passed, and it just goes so fast that you really have to, enjoy the successes but also learn from the losses. And for me, I learned from those experiences early in my career, and then when I was able to win at the end, it was like icing on the cake, yes, but it was also that relief of, I've been able to do this. I've been able to accomplish this very, very hard game, hard championship to win. And when you do win that, you really feel that fulfillment of, okay, this has taken a long time. And my last game as a professional was the Atlanta game, and it was my 11th year in the NFL, and it was really, that helped me actually retire. It helped me realize, like, okay, what is another year, what is year 12 or year 13 or 14 give me that I don't already have and haven't accomplished. So once you can kind of knock off all them goals and you look back, and everything we do, risk and reward, right? It's you,
yeah.
you put your leg on the dirt bike and you're taking a risk, and
Yeah.
you're trying to win, you're trying to make money, because at the end of the day it's about making money and earning money for your family. And
Yeah.
you also want to stay and you want to accomplish some things. So I think there's a lot of comparisons to both sports in
Mhm.
how you learn in the process of maturing. Because I mean, shoot, even think of like Lawrence, right? Even the brothers, both of them, to start out, I mean, there were some growing pains. I mean, shoot, Jet break his collarbone on the face of the finish line in his rookie season, like,
Yep.
just kind of riding out of control. It's like, hey, if I would have stayed more in control, I could have put myself in a position to not be in a sling for the next 6 weeks. So he learned from that, and then look where he's at right now. I mean, he's the best, fastest rider in the sport. So it's it's cool when you can look back, and I'm sure you both have those instances where you look back, you're like, man, I learned a lot from that, even the good and the bad, honestly.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
Rob,
you go
do
ahead.
you think if you would have won earlier in your career, Super Bowl, if that would have changed your trajectory versus winning at the end? Because I know I won early in my career, and I think I took it for granted winning so early in my career, and then basically retired on winning. I never really lost unless I was, injured.
Yeah.
So I look back now and for myself, it's like, man, I could have probably raced longer if maybe I would have won a championship and lost one, or won two and lost one in the 450 class. And then it made me
Mhm.
more hungry, but I went four in a row and lived inside that pressure cooker for so long. It ate away, I think, at me partly too.
Yeah, well, there's also, and I think the general fan or somebody that hasn't done that at a professional level doesn't kind of understand the pressures of every day and every a moment that you're in that work environment. You're being evaluated and looked at to get replaced. So Football players, we're like the cattle walking through, you know, and you got the guys out there bidding on the cattle. Hey, I'll take that one. Oh yeah, 50 looks good. I don't know. He's got a, you know, he's getting a little older. I don't know.
He's got a pimp limp.
He's got a little hiccup in his step. We might as well slaughter that guy, you know. So when you're in that environment, I tell you, I swear to God, people tell me all the time, they're like, dude, you look younger now than you did when you played. And I'm like, dude, you know how much stress I was under, and the mental like wear and tear of every move you make is being under the microscope. And you know, oh, why did he do this? Why did he do that? Oh, he's losing it. Or you know, it's such a, and granted, you're getting paid, and yes, it's our job, and that's what we chose to do. But when you're in that moment, and especially like for me, there were moments, and I think I was listening to an interview about Bubba, you know, James talking about like he had to get away for a little bit, like the smell of exhaust, or like a dirt, like being around the track was just stressful a little bit, because you know, every time he got on a bike, he was expected to win. And if he took third, everyone was like, well, why did he take third? He's the fastest guy on a motorcycle. And it's like, well, you know, things happen, right? So when I look at the early parts of my career, I had injuries to deal with that, you know, it took me 3 years to get back, to really get back in like a competitive mode where I could compete with guys that were starters and beat out the starters. You know, I tore my ACL, MCL, PCL, and then I had meniscus, and I had cartilage chunk, and all this stuff in my knee. And it was like the first year I came back from that, I was not the same guy like on the field. Like I just wasn't. And I remember, there's also a pro to this. Before I got hurt, I was probably a little bit cocky, a little bit full of myself, a little bit arrogant towards like competitive, like, oh, that guy sucks. You know, I'm going to take that
Yeah.
guy's job. Like, I'm not worried about it. And then when you go through those hiccups, you question like, man, can I run as fast as I can and stick this leg in the ground and go left and not have to go through another year of what I just did, you know? And then it's like a slow process of regaining your confidence. And it's the same way with moto. I mean, guys that have a really bad off, you know, they have a knee injury or they have an injury, you get back on the bike and you're like, okay, here I go. Can I get back to where I was at, the same pace and the same comfort? And when you're young, I mean, you can win a race, you come off, you do your interview, you say, yeah, I was running like 70% out there. It was easy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but when you get older, oh yeah, who's kitchen? I don't even know who that guy is. What are you talking about? You know,
Yeah.
when you get older, you start to look back at that and you're like, man, if I'd have known then, maybe I'd have done things a little different. I don't think I would have retired younger, honestly, because you know, for me, you get addicted to being a pro. Like there's you guys coming out just like us coming out of the tunnel. When you come out and they got the spotlight on you and they say your name and you do a wheelie through the starting gates and you're coming off and everyone's cheering for you, that's like a drug. You know, it's an addiction of, this is my identity.
Mm,
And guys, I mean, football players, everybody that's been a pro has to deal with that lull and that dip after you're done,
mm,
of like figuring yourself out again. And you know, like for guys like me and you, Ryan, and even RC, I think like when you have your family and your kids, it makes it, you redirect that to them. Like, all right, like
yeah.
this is what I was. I'm not a racer. I'm not a professional football player, but now I'm a dad and I'm trying to like give them all the tools and I'm trying to help them. And yeah, I might not have like a specific title, you know, hey, what do you do, Rob? Now that you're retired, you don't play football. Like, well, I take the kids to school. I pack a nice lunch. I, you know,
I just try to be awesome.
I try to be cool. I go to these events. You know, RC asked me if I'd want to do a whole shot challenge, and you know, thank the Lord I didn't do it, because I'd have probably looped out and everyone laughed at me. So, um, you know, it's like it's such a and that's why I say the comparisons to being a pro anything. Honestly, you know, it's, if you've been a pro and you've been at the top of the top, you're the cream of the crop, and you're the
Mhm.
best at it, like there's that transition period where you're, man, I tell you what, I can read this rhythm section better than anyone else can, but I don't do that anymore. You know, it's like people
Yeah.
ask me like, what would you do here? I'm like, oh yeah, that tackle's a little wide. He's half a step out. He's probably going to try and reach me. Stick your inside hand on his breastplate, extend your arm, and then shut down the run. Go make the play. You know, it's just like second nature. But now, you know, I'm
Yeah.
at, you know, talking to fifth grade dads about basketball, and you know.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You can have it all: news, highlights, interviews, and analysis. So go for it.